Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Steel Rain, a Korean action thriller from 2017. Now in this film, a man by the name of Chul-woo Eom, played by Woo-sung Jung, is a former top agent of North Korea. He's offered an assignment by a high-ranking military officer to kill two men who are closest to their leader, Jong-un Kim. Now, our protagonist is informed that these two men are planning a coup against the North Korean leader, so he accepts the assignment. Now, while waiting for his target to appear during a public event, bombs suddenly land upon the crowd, and a rogue North Korean soldier unit descends upon the area and wipes out most of the guards and the spectators in their attempt to assassinate Jong-un Kim. Now, during the chaos, our protagonist risks his life and takes the wounded North Korean leader to safety across the border to the south. Now, the problem is that the leader of this coup has now taken complete control of the North Korean army and is working to activate their nuclear arsenal in an effort to provoke a full-scale war in the region. Now, meanwhile, Chul-woo Kwak, played by Do-won Kwak, is the chief of foreign security affairs in South Korea. He gets wind of this situation and tracks down our protagonist. But can these two men work together to stop this escalating conflict? So the thing that stuck out to me the most while watching this film was just how topical it is regarding current events. I mean, we've seen plenty of South Korean films that involve conflicts between the North and the South, but Steel Rain incorporates a lot of specific geopolitical issues that are front and center in real life nowadays. And there's a bit of nuance and multidimensionality in how these topics are handled. For example, there's a very interesting unintended consequence of the recent ramp-up of international sanctions against North Korea that I never really thought of before. And of course, China's relation to everything is also touched upon in the film. So decades down the road, when someone decides to watch this movie, it will provide a nice little snapshot of history, I think. So that's good. Another impressive aspect of Steel Rain is the action, which is intense and gritty with a high-octane feel to it. Some powerful weaponry is used by the characters, and the hand-to-hand combat is hard-hitting stuff. There's one maneuver with plastic explosives that I've never seen in a movie before. It was pretty cool stuff. I like that scene in particular. But it's important to note that the action design in this film has weight to it and does not get too cartoonish, which is important because it maintains a consistency with the tone of the rest of the film, which is rather serious. And if you're wondering, the title Steel Rain refers to the type of bombs that are used at the beginning of the film. Now, do I even need to address the acting in this movie? I don't know. I mean, we've got Woo-sung Jung from Asura, the City of Madness, and Do-won Kwak from The Wailing in the lead roles. They're both great in this. At this point in his career, Jung is very experienced with action films, and he handles himself very well in the fights. Kwak plays more of an everyday man who's simply a high-ranking officer in the government. Neither of their characters are particularly complex, since the film chooses to focus on the complexity of the geopolitical aspects instead, but their characters are developed enough to understand their motivations, and they do have very good chemistry together when on screen together. Now, in terms of flaws, I do think that the runtime of this film of 2 hours and 19 minutes is a bit on the long side. There were a few patches during the middle that I think dragged a little bit. There were also a few plot developments that felt somewhat cliched at times. For example, the situation that results in our protagonists meeting each other for the first time, as well as the ending, could be considered kind of cliched. Also, usually in films involving North Korean characters, you could detect a thick accent in the actor's speech, since they're portraying someone from the North. But in this film, there were times where the accents were less noticeable. I'm not sure if that's a legitimate flaw or not, but it's just something I noticed. But overall, Steel Rain is yet another Korean film that should be pretty entertaining for most viewers, especially fans of contemporary Korean film. It's currently available on Netflix streaming in the United States. I don't think it's had a DVD or Blu-ray release yet, but I anticipate that happening at some point in the future. So, if the premise sounds interesting to you and you like this type of film, you should definitely check this out because it's good stuff. And as always, we will see you next time.